It's the battle of the bites. Snake bites versus spider bites, two of the oldest and most popular of the bites. Coming up next, we're going to go through 5 rounds to decide which one is the victor, or which one might be your better option. Coming up next on Piercing Battles, episode number 18. Those who are new to the channel, welcome to the Body Piercing and Tattooing channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you find it helpful and useful. But you may not know who I am. My name is DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer and have been since 1994. I own and operate the Axiom Body Piercing studio located right here in Des Moines, Iowa, inside Skin Kitchen Tattoo. We're going to be talking about 2 of possibly the oldest and most popular of the lip piercing groupings, the oral piercing groupings. We're going to be talking about the spider bites, which is 2 lower lip piercings or labret piercings done on each side of the face, usually in alignment with the edge of the nose. Then spider bites, which are 2 off to the side, usually starting with the lower, or that edge of the nose, either going outward or inward. I'm going to cover 5 subjects or 5 rounds to decide which one might be, or kind of give you an understanding of which has its advantages and disadvantages, etc. We're going to cover anatomy, placement, healing, jewelry choices, and living with the piercing. Starting with round number 1, anatomy, with snake bites. Most people have the anatomy to do it. The only thing we're really worried about with anatomy is that your lip has a little bit of space between your lower teeth and gums in the inside of your lip. The more room in there, the less likely it is to cause risks or damage. The other thing we're going to look at is blood vessels, if we can see them, to avoid them. With spider bite or snake bites over spider bites, it has kind of this issue because we're trying to match them and make them look like they match both sides of your face, that one might be a perfect placement for it, and then we go to the other side and there might be a little bit of issues, mainly because there's a blood vessel there, or maybe your lip kind of turns down a little bit. We're not symmetrical is what I'm getting at. So there could be more of an increased risk or issue with anatomy when doing snake bites than there is with spider bites. With spider bites, most people do have the anatomy. That's usually not an issue. It needs to be that space like I spoke about earlier to avoid risks. Leaves a little bit more room for adjustment as far as, because it's just an alignment on one side, placing it's not needing to be that dead perfect. So you have a little bit more flexibility with working with different types of anatomy than you do with snake bites. And that round goes to spider bites. Making the score, snake bites 0, spider bites 1. And round number 2, placement variety. Like I stated earlier, we usually try to align these with the edge of the nose. You can move a little bit in, a little bit outward. It really varies with what your end results are going to be. But it kind of you're kind of stuck into that style of placement. They also can be deeper or lower into the lip, or higher. It really depends on the type of jewelry that you want to wear in the piercing. If you want rings, higher is going to have to be your only option. If you're wanting studs, then lower. It's the same thing on both of these. With spider bites, you have a little bit more flexibility because you can arrange how far apart they are. You can work with maybe one's a little bit lower than the other one, like a straight line, or one reaches that natural curvature of the lip. Whatever's going to work best and whatever's going to look best in your mouth. Also, just like with snake bites, they may have to be a little bit higher to allow for rings. So if you have one of those lower lips that curves up drastically, that's that kind of that angle can only be at that angle. But for the most part, you have a lot more options as far as placement, I think. But this one's, I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up. So round number 2, I'm going to call a draw. Making the score, snake bites 1, spider bites 2. I hope you're ready for round number 3 because it's coming now. Healing. Spider bites, average healing time 8 to 12 weeks. Fairly easy heal as far as lip piercings go. They're one of those piercings, they have their hassles and their drawbacks. For the most part, they heal pretty easily. You will probably likely need to downsize the jewelry at some point to a shorter post. I usually suggest between 4 and 8 weeks. You can't sleep on them. You also want to keep cosmetics, moisturizers, fragrances, cleansers, etc. away from the area. The other thing is that you are going to have a situation where you need to keep contact with those piercings down to a minimum and reduce the movement. The reason why is the more contact you have, the more trauma, the more swelling. Also, you're going to be on a bland diet. That's kind of the same thing. And simple diet, kind of soft diet. That's kind of the same thing with both of those, because that's kind of a moot point. But with the with snake bites, because they're on both sides of your mouth, you are impacting a larger area of your mouth and causing more interaction with food and with talking and movement, because it affects more area of your mouth. Healing's pretty much the same with the spider bites. The only main difference, and I already kind of alluded to this, is because you're only dealing with one side or the other of your mouth. The area that is being impacted from eating, drinking, kissing, everything else you do with your mouth is not as large as it would be with snake bites, where you have two kind of on both sides interacting with everything. It is a lot easier to deal with than snake bites are. So that one I'm going to give to spider bites, making the score snake bites 1, spider bites 3. Next up, jewelry choices. There's not really a lot of difference between these two, because you're kind of stuck with the same kind of jewelry. They're the same type of piercing. There's not a lot of variety one way or another. It's generally either labret studs or rings. That's it. And with rings, you're going to have to wait 6 months to a year before you change them out to avoid issues. The other thing to understand is that rings can cause the piercing to migrate upward and change exactly where that position is for that entrance on either the outside or the inside. So you do need to take that into account. Changing them too quickly can lead to bumps and other problems. But this one, it's pretty much an even match. So we're going to call that one a draw, making it snake bites 2, spider bites 4. And now the final round. Round number 5, living with the piercing. Because with snake bites, because the piercings are on both sides of your mouth, it can be hard to isolate. It's more increased likelihood of bumping them and causing trauma against them, which a lot of people don't think is a factor once the piercing is healed, but it can be. If there's enough trauma, you have metal through soft tissue. It can cause damage and cause issues even in a healed piercing. Always need to check the ends. That's kind of a given with both of these. They can come unscrewed or loosen over time just from eating, talking, etc. Can interrupt eating and talking and drinking and kissing and everything more so than the spider bites. As I mentioned earlier, they impact a larger area of the mouth. Both of these, you do need to clean the plaque off on a regular basis. It will sometimes collect on the jewelry. Simply brushing the jewelry usually is enough to do this. It really depends on how much plaque you produce or gets trapped on it. That varies from person to person. Lastly, you need to monitor your gums, teeth, and bone structure of your mouth. If you start to see issues, you need to remove the jewelry immediately. There is no magic jewelry that you can put in these that's going to reduce the likelihood of those issues. And because it's impacting more of your mouth or more of an area of your mouth, the risk is slightly more than it is with spider bites. Spider bites, first off, easier to isolate because it's only dealing with one side of your face. You're not dealing with it affecting both sides of your mouth. So kissing, eating, drinking, etc. is not impacted as much. Easier to isolate also means less trauma possibilities. There's also less risk of damage to gums, teeth, and enamel because it's only going to impact one area. However, you still need to monitor it. It is still a risk. Of course, you need to check the ends because it's the same style of jewelry if you're wearing labret studs. Plaque, of course, is also an issue with spider bites. A lot of these things are the same because they are the same piercing at their base. They're just a little different with different things that happen with different placements. So after 5 rounds, that one I am going to give to spider bites. And the main reason is that because it's only impacting one side of your mouth, you have less of those issues with eating, talking, in contact with teeth, gums, and bones. So the risks are a little bit less. Now, what you like is what you like. If you like going more for kind of drawing attention to one profile, a spider bites might be a better option for you. If you want to go for something that has that symmetry look, then snake bites are definitely a better option. So it really comes down to what you feel fits into your face and how you want to express yourself more than anything. But the final, if that means anything, is snake bites 2, spider bites 5. If you have either of these piercings, or maybe you've had both of them at one point in your life, please leave a comment. If you have any questions about either of these piercings, please leave a comment. Till next time, here's hoping all your piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, I would love to see if your piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you in that next video.